thought on this occasion it was only fitting to wear a black shirt. I was gonna wear a black hoodie, but it's too hot for that, so I guess I'll just wear a black shirt. Hey everyone, today's video is going to be about Pretty Little Liars. I've wanted to do a video about Pretty Little Liars for some time now. I just didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do it on. I didn't really want to make a theory video because I feel like it's just easier to type it out like on Tumblr. For those of you who don't know, I have a Pretty Little Liars Tumblr account, and on there I actually asked some people what I should do for a video. Sorry, I have hair. And someone suggested I should do a video on why I want Aria to be A. Not necessarily why I think she's A, but why I want her to be. And I thought that was a really good idea for a video, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to go over that first, and then after that I'm going to quickly go over some of her motives, because I know there are some people that kind of like the theory of Aria being A, but they don't really understand her motives. And I'm going to go over kind of my ideas of that, hopefully without making it into a theory video. I feel like that's what this video is going to end up being, but I'm going to try hard for it not to be. So now on to why I want Aria to be A. The first point, I actually have them all written down so I don't miss anything. Hopefully I don't miss anything in this video. Hopefully it's perfect. It probably won't be, but anyway. Yeah, okay, so first point I put down was that it would actually make a lot of sense if she were A. Like, a lot of the things that happen in the show, I feel like it would just make sense. Also, her shadiness in the show. Like, you can't deny that she is so shady. Like, that would make sense if she were A. Like, all of her shadiness would make so much sense. I think she's hiding something, but that's just me. My second point is, even though there are quite a few of people who kind of follow that theory of Aria being A, I still feel like in the end, if Marlene and the other writers were to make her A, I feel like it would still be quite shocking, because it's like one of those things where, yeah, you believe it, yeah, you follow it, but like you don't think it would actually kind of happen, sort of thing. Like, I feel like, at least for me, I would be so shocked if Aria was A in the end. I think that would be really cool, and I think it would be quite shocking to most people, especially now that they have this whole kind of Charles thing going on. Yeah, anyway, I just feel like if Marlene were to go down that path, it would still be quite the shock. Because I just feel like, at least me, like, I believe it, I follow it, but I don't think that they would actually do it, so I think that would be really cool. This kind of connects to the same point, but I wanted to add that even though now that the Aria is A theory is kind of like really popular and out there, and even probably the writers and Marlene know about it, I still think that, yeah, it would be a shock for everyone. This kind of goes with my first point. I feel like if they did make Aria A in the end, it would all make sense. Not just her, but like everything that's in the show, it would make sense. I don't know if that's just me being brainwashed to think that Aria is A, because I've thought that for so long, but I just think everything would make sense. I feel like if it was someone else, like say Jason, if Jason De Laurentiis ended up being A, or Charles or whatever, you'd still have so many questions. Even Cece, like anyone, I feel like you'd still have so many questions. Well, like, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Why was Aria being shady if she has nothing to do with it? Like, so I feel like if she was A, it would just make sense. There would be not as many questions, I feel like, in the end, that people have, and I think there would be a whole lot answered if she was. I just also want to add, I've noticed a few people think that Wren could be A, and I have to say I like that theory. I do agree with it, but I feel like I'd like it if Wren and Aria were A together. I think if it was just him, it would be kind of boring. Like, it would be kind of a cop-out because he's like barely ever on the show, and I don't know, I would just feel like, oh, that's lame. Like, I don't know, that's what I would feel like. It would also kind of feel like they're copying Eye Candy. I know Pretty Little Liars has been around way longer, but Eye Candy pretty much solved the mystery in one season, whereas Pretty Little Liars is, you know, it's season 6 on Tuesday and it's still going. So Major spoilers ahead right now if you've never seen Eye Candy, because I wanted to explain why I think that, that it's similar. So if you've never seen Eye Candy and you are interested in it, click ahead. I will put the time frame where I stop talking about it like right here somewhere so that you know. But yeah, there will be spoilers, so if you are interested, then just kind of scroll over to the next frame. So I'll put that right here somewhere for you. I'll wait. It'll be right here. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, it would be kind of, I feel like if Wren were A and that's it would kind of be copying Eye Candy. Like in Eye Candy, it's the guy with the accent, you know, that is always kind of just there, that you really don't think he has anything to do with, you know, you think he's innocent, and in the end he ends up being the killer stalker that they were looking for. Also in the finale we see that he has mental problems and his family has had a history of mental problems and they're just kind of messed up, and I feel like if Pretty Little Liars made Wren A and that's it would be kind of like that. I don't know, I just feel like it would be kind of a copy of Eye Candy. That's just me. Going on from that, I think that if Aria were A, it would be unique. If you look at old-fashioned mystery crimes and novels, it's always someone who's just kind of there, and I feel like back then that was a shock, but I feel like it's not really anymore because there were so many of them back then, and even now there still is. It's always like that, and I feel like we have been around for like 6 years almost for Pretty Little Liars, so we know better than that. I feel like if they just did that, if they just made Wren A or whatever, it would be kind of lame. Also as I was saying before, like with like mystery crime novels or whatever, murder mysteries, it's, you know, it's always that random person that's always kind of there, and it's never usually the victim. It's never usually the person in the group. So I feel like if they made Aria A, that would be quite original, quite unique. I don't think I have read or heard of a book or a movie that was like that. Well, maybe a movie, but not really a book, like not kind of an old-fashioned book. And yeah, I don't think I've heard of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, if there are some out there, like old. But usually what happens is, you know, it's the random person, you know, in the shadows, in the background, and it's not usually someone who's one of them or someone who's the victim. It would also be really twisted and deceiving and kind of, you know, the ultimate betrayal if Aria were A, because, you know, she is one of them. So I think that would be quite the twisted, deceiving, and quite the ultimate betrayal. You know, she's part of this group who are all kind of trying to figure this out. So I feel like if it were her, it would be really cool to see that. I feel like that would way far surpass Toby, and, you know, when we found out that he was A, yeah, that was, you know, that was shocking. But I feel like if they made Aria A, that would far surpass Toby being A and that whole betrayal thing. So I think that would be really cool. I think it would also be really neat to see a show like Pretty Little Liars to go down that path of Aria potentially having this, you know, multiple personality disorder and other mental illnesses. I think it would also be quite disheartening and sad in the end. Like, I think was it Sasha, the girl who plays Allison, she said something about it being disheartening and sad, or maybe she was just talking about Charles, I don't know, but I feel like that would be sad. So major points, what were they? Twisted, unique, original, deceiving, ultimate betrayal, unexpected. Yeah, I think that's it. So now on to Aria's motives. I'm gonna talk about this pretty quickly. Again, I don't want this to turn into a theory video. Like, I probably would go on a massive tangent and it would turn into a theory video, so I'm going to try and not make it that. But I had a Tumblr user ask me to do this in this video, so that's what I'm going to do. I know that Some people, some people like the idea of Aria being A, but they don't really quite understand her motives, so they don't really believe it and whatever. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to try and clear things up. Some things that I've seen, this is just what I've seen. Like, these aren't facts or anything, obviously, but this is just from, things that I've seen, and so let's just get started. I'm going to talk about the Halloween episode in season 2 first. It's called The First Secret. That was when, you see this in the pilot too, but this was the actual day when Allison and Aria saw Aria's dad, Byron, cheating with Meredith. Then later on that day, it was Halloween and Aria was going to skip out on the party, but Allison manipulated her and blackmailed her into going. She threatened her into going. She threatened to say that she was going to tell everyone about it. So that could have been a motive. Also, there were multiple different people, and you saw that. They allowed for that to happen. They showed you in that episode that there were possibly multiple A's or people torturing Allison. There was that one voodoo doll thingy, I don't even know what those are called, but I honestly think that is Aria, but I'm not going to get into that because there'll be a theory video, but we know that one was Mona. We know that one was Lucas. He said bitch to her, and then we saw all these others too, and obviously that one couldn't be Aria because she was standing right next to them, but that doesn't mean that she couldn't have, put down a threatening note. Allison got multiple notes that day. She could have been one of them. It would make sense because Allison threatened her that she was going to tell, and blackmailed her into going to the Halloween party. That day, I think, was when Allison first started getting the A text, so it's kind of no coincidence that happened. Like, that stuff with Allison and Aria and her father, and then the A text, like, it was the same day, so I don't think that's really coincidence. It could have been Mona, it could have, and it probably was, but it was probably Aria too. I don't think it was ever just one A. Again, getting into the theories, I gotta stop doing that. I also don't believe that we've seen everything between Allison and Aria. I don't know if you've noticed this, but their relationship is so weird. We've also never really seen too much of them together. We've seen a lot of the others, their fights and their conversations and whatever, but we don't see too much of Aria and Allison. Like, just together, just those two. We've seen her with Allison, finding out her dad, and then we also see them together destroying her dad's office, but that's really it. And I have some other theories about that, but again, I don't want to get into that. But yeah, just a major point. Their friendship just seems really odd to me, and I think there's a lot more to the story than we know. Another possible motive is the idea that she has multiple personality disorder, and I think throughout the entire show it kind of shows that, with the reflections in the mirrors, Aria's outbursts. I find she's also a jealous person. And jealousy can be a very powerful thing. So yeah, I think that is all I'm going to say about her motives. Again, I've said this a million times, but don't want to get too much into the theory. I feel like if I keep going, it'll turn into a theory, and I don't want that. So, so some kind of like frequently asked questions about Aria's A theories, or about, just my opinions on things in general. I'm gonna go over quickly, and then it's going to be the end. Don't worry, it's probably a really long video already. So one of the a lot of times I get this question, or people will get this question, like the whole Aria's A fandom will get this question, is what if the writers are just using this to trick us into thinking Aria's A and whatever. So I'm gonna go through that because I have a lot to say about that. First of all, I would like to say that I would hope that a very successful show like Pretty Little Liars wouldn't do that to the viewers and the fans who, you know, try to solve things and really look for clues and evidence and spend their time doing that. I would hope that that would not lead to a sort of dead path. Typically when you are writing a murder mystery, you want to plant some real evidence and clues. And I also feel like with Aria, it's never really obvious. You'd usually have to go back and watch it again, or you'd have to be really keeping an eye out during that video to kind of see the different clues pointing towards Aria. I know for some people the only reason why they think Aria is A is because they have seen all of the theories, you know, on YouTube and Tumblr and stuff like that, and then they've caught on that way. Usually if there's a trick on the show, it's something that the character... My camera actually stopped as I was like on a roll talking, so I don't even know how much I got of that. But so basically if there's like a trick or something on the show, it's something that the characters have said or mentioned out loud. For example, when they thought Ian was A or Ezra was A, they, you know, addressed that to the viewers so that it was obvious, like they made it obvious. Or even now with Andrew, like even though no one on the show has suspected him yet, they kind of, through like creepy background music or just creepy things that he does, they kind of make you, they try and make you believe that he could be A, even though we know he's not, but you know what I mean. Aria is different because everything's subtle. It's never been mentioned on the show. She's never been a suspect. It's never like, none of the things she's done, even like the shady things she's done, has been questioned. So I don't think it's a trick, at least I hope not. I think that it would be pretty foolish if they abused their success like that by tricking their viewers and their fans, especially with something like that. Now on to who do I think is A. I get this a lot. Most people assume it's just Aria, but I think that it's Wren and Aria together. And I'm not going to elaborate on that because it'll go into a whole theory video, but you can see my theories. I'll put them in the down bar, they're on Tumblr, and yeah, you can go and check those out for yourself. There's 2 of them, I think. I also wanted to point out that I do not think that Andrew is A at all. He could be maybe working for Aria, but I don't think he's A. He is definitely a red herring. Yeah, that's what they call them, right? Yeah, now on to... I guess we're just gonna wrap up this video because I think that's all I have to say, and I'll just kind of conclude everything. So I think that's it for the motives, and I think I've said everything I want to say about why I want Aria to be A, but in the end I feel like I do hope that whoever A is, that the show explains it all the clues, all the evidence that points towards Aria. If there's no answer and there's no explanation for that, it's gonna feel so weird to me, like it's gonna feel like the show isn't fully done, you know? It just, like, you can't deny that she is a shady character and she does a lot of shady things, so I feel like there needs to be an explanation if regardless on who A is. If it's not her, that's fine, but I need to know why she's so shady. So I really hope there is an explanation there. At the end of it all, I really hope that Marlene gives us answers about Aria. I think that also her family is really interesting to me. I feel like for the longest time the show has been about Allison, but I think that Aria's family is a lot more interesting, and there's a lot more there, and I feel like if Marlene doesn't explain that, again, it'll feel empty and just not finished. But I swear if there's no answers about her, if she doesn't end up being A, we need a spin-off. Like, we need to know what is so shady with her family. Like, there's something going on and I need a spin-off if that doesn't happen. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it wasn't too all over the place. This is my first time doing one, so I hope it was good. Let me know in the comments or whatever. Also, be sure, again, to check out my Wren and Aria theory down below. It will be linked down below if you need to see that or if you want to see that. It has to do with them being potentially related and being A together. So I think that is it for this video. I want to know who you want to be A, not who you think is A, not why you think they're A, but who you want to be A. Because I think that's a really fun question, and you don't have to like back it up with evidence. It doesn't have to be all serious. You just tell me who you want to be A, because I think that's fun. Also, feel free to leave any requests for different videos regarding Pretty Little Liars in the comment section. I'm pretty much open to do anything. I've had a request to do a reaction video, but I don't know how that would go. Like, I feel like they're only good with finales, but I don't know, maybe I'll do one. We'll see. Or maybe I'll do like reviews sometimes on like different episodes throughout the summer. So let me know if you would like to see that. Just, you know, give me suggestions and whatever, and because I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what to do. I do really like doing videos on TV shows that I like. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope this video wasn't too random and all over the place. I tend to ramble when, I don't know, I don't really know what I'm talking about. Definitely check out my Pretty Little Liars Tumblr page. I'll put it in the down bar. And I think that is it. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it, whatever you want to do. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!